friends, and welcome back to another exciting video in our travel series. By the time you see this, I will be flying. Which is so... I can't believe it's nearly here. It's nearly here. Oh my god. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then please feel free to go and watch this video here. But if you don't have time to do that, for my 40th birthday this year, we are going to Disney, Florida. Me, Sean and DB on an amazing vacation, and we literally cannot wait. I love traveling. I love flying. I love sharing the whole experience with you. I have made lots of flight vlogs, lots of pre-flight vlogs, what it's like to fly as a person with a disability, what it's like to fly with a spinal cord injury and with a wheelchair. I'll have those all linked down below, but I wanted to make another video showing you how I prepare for a long haul flight, how I get my chair ready for a long haul flight, talk a little bit more about my wheelchairs, and hopefully give you some tips. But not only that, maybe you can give me some tips as well. I asked you some questions over on Instagram as to what you wanted to see or know about, so I'll be covering those as well. If that sounds like good stuff to you, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, because we're going to be sharing and documenting our journey to Florida, and then some days in the parks as well, and then also flying back from Florida. So it's all exciting stuff, and we're really excited to share it with you as well. So when we booked this holiday way back last year, I made sure to book special assistance. If you feel that's something that you need, then advisable to book that as soon as you can. They emailed me and asked me questions. They'll ask you things like the weight of your wheelchair, the measurement. They asked me the measurements? I'm not sure. They definitely asked me the weight of my wheelchair, whether it was manual or electric. And they also asked me if I was going to be checking it in at the check-in desk or taking it down to the aircraft door. I always take my wheelchair down to the aircraft door, and then they'll take it from there down to the hold, one hopes. And then once I get there, I take off my cushion and I sit on my cushion. It's always advisable to keep your cushion safe with you and also sit on it if you have any back problems or back pain. Mine's a Supracor Stimulite cushion, which is amazing for keeping my bones all stable. And if you are susceptible to pressure sores, then definitely sit on your cushion. When I check in, I always try and request the bulkhead seats. They're not always available, and things have definitely changed since 2020 because they've started charging quite a lot of money for bulkhead seats. Every time I have flown with Virgin, they have given me the bulkhead seats, so I'm just crossing my fingers that we will get them. The bulkhead seats are the ones that are right at the front of the aisle, not the ones by the emergency exit, and they tend to have the sky cots on them. So families and people with disabilities do get priority on those seats. So Sean and I had a bit of a conversation as to what wheelchair I'm going to be taking. I've got my GTM Jaguar, which is a rigid framed wheelchair, and then I've also got my Motion Composite, which is a folding frame wheelchair. I've got lots of videos about my wheelchairs there. Now when we went to Australia, videos there, I took my GTM, which was amazing. Great thing about flying on the Qantas A380 was that I was able to keep my wheelchair in the cabin with me, which was just so good. And this is my Motion Composite wheelchair in a cupboard on Virgin's Dreamliner. However, we're flying on the I can't remember, but the Virgin's old plane. So when we leave it at the aircraft door, it will go down to the hold. So we have decided this wheelchair is probably going to be better for me. And I realise that that is a very privileged position that I am in, that I can choose from two wheelchairs. Not every wheelchair user has that privilege, but this wheelchair is a good wheelchair. It is great for travelling. Because it does fold, it makes it really easy getting it into cars, and it's got the bright wheels on it, which I really like, to give it a bit more personal touch. And you can be like, it's the wheelchair with pink push rings. The main reason as to why we're taking it is because it has the adjustable push handles. My GTM has only got these little fixed handles, which are great for short journeys, but when you're doing long 12-hour park days in Disney, that is going to be quite strenuous on Sean trying to push me, or Daisy. So we just decided this is going to be a lot easier for all of us. I'll probably get a little bit of hip pain and back pain because the seat bucket is a 90-degree angle, whereas this one is very much bucketed. I have lots of videos all about that on my channel, so go and check out the videos on my wheelchairs. This wheelchair is half the weight of this wheelchair. Another thing that I was recommended by a lot of you guys was to get an air tag, and I bought one the other day, and I will be attaching this somewhere top secret to my wheelchair. I guess it just gives you a little bit of peace of mind if you've got it on the wheelchair. I have had a wheelchair left in Singapore while I was in Sydney, so it is always nice to know I will be able to track it. Although I am really anxious that I'll get to Florida and I'll look on it and it'll say that it's left in the UK because it hasn't quite caught up. Fully prepared for that. If you fancy an AirTag, I'll leave one linked down below. Another thing I suffer with is travel sickness. These are the best travel sickness tablets I have found. These are absolutely amazing. I take one the night before, sleep like an absolute boss. And while we were flying over Asia to Australia, we had such bad turbulence. Even the flight attendants were being ill, shall I say? Oh no, not me! I was there tucking into my food, watching the movies, living my best life. Poor Daisy was being sick in Sean's hands. I'm the type of person who will feel sick just looking at a boat or sat on a train. I am awful, but those are amazing. Another thing I'll be doing pre-flight is wearing my very, very sexy flight socks. I don't know if they are going to do much good, but anything is better than nothing, isn't it? So I think these help prevent DVT, and especially for people who can't like get up and walk around or move so much, you want to do as much as you can to sort of protect yourself from that. And also I have heard that you can take aspirin leading up to your flights as well to sort of thin your blood a little bit to help prevent DVT. That's just what I've heard. Make sure you do your research and you speak to a medical professional before you think about changing any medications or taking anything. Another thing I did is before I went on the flight, I spoke to my doctor about all of my concerns, and she did prescribe me with some medication to help like relax some of my muscles, help prevent any spasming, and just make me a lot more comfortable. So every time I fly, let's just say I'm super chilled. I'm super happy and I'm living my best life. When we landed in Sydney, there was a huntsman the size of my head in my brother-in-law's car.
Welcome to Australia. Big huntsman.
Lucky I'm medicated because I'm quite chilled about it.
I'm arachnophobic, but I was just like, no worries. But I was pretty mellow. I highly recommend if you're flying a long distance, or even if you're a bit anxious about traveling a short distance, you talk to your doctor and you explain like how you are feeling. So don't suffer. Once we get to Florida, I'm gonna make sure that my wheelchair is at the aircraft door before I get off. That's one of my biggest tips that I can share with anyone. Do not disembark the aircraft until you know your wheelchair is there, if that's what you have arranged to do, because all the time you're on the plane, you're the captain's responsibility. As soon as you get off the plane, no one really cares about you. You're on your own and you've got to go through all baggage reclaim and all of that stuff before you can even really speak to anyone. So if you stay on the plane and you say, I'm not getting off until my wheelchair is there, they will move heaven and earth to try and find your wheelchair and make sure it is there, because they're under very strict time constraints and time is money. They can't just have an aircraft being left there while they try and find your chair. It happened in Paris. They wanted to get me off and I was like, no, I'm not moving until my wheelchair is there. And it was like someone put a rocket up them. Literally within 2 minutes, my wheelchair was there. To keep myself comfortable on the flight, I have this neck pillow. It's quite a flat, beanie, squishy neck pillow. I find these ones are a lot better than the thick memory foam ones, because I find if you have the memory foam ones, you're a bit like this. Whereas if you have the squishy ones, you can kind of sort of like mold them to you. So I would definitely look out for one of these. We have filmed our packing vlog, so if you've missed that and you want to see other bits that we take to make a long haul flight more comfortable and stuff we are taking to Disney, then go and watch it here. So in a minute, I think we're going to be going to Tesco and picking our snacks out for the plane. I definitely recommend taking lots and lots of snacks with you. you on long haul flights because they just can get very boring. But I thought in this part of the video I could go through some of your questions that you have. So, okay. Ooh. Will you take your Batek or other power assist with you? Well, my power assist is Sean and Daisy because as I said, I'm taking my my motion composite wheelchair that's going to be a lot easier for them to push. I would love to take my GTM wheelchair and my Batek Mini. My Batek Mini is made for flying, but at the moment I just feel like I have no faith. I'd be so worried about them getting broken or damaged. I also decided not to take my Batek to Disney because the whole detaching and attaching process, even though it's quick and it's easy, over time it definitely takes strain on your body. And you know, when you're transferring to do rides, that's quite a lot. How do you use the toilet on the flight? Well, I do have footage of me using the toilet in these vlogs, in the vlog to Australia and the vlog to LA. I talk about it, but long haul flights have onboard aisle chairs. The best one was with Qantas. It felt really sort of stable and robust. And on the A380, they actually had a wheelchair accessible toilet. It was amazing. When I went with Virgin, they have an accessible toilet, but that just means that the door opens outwards, I think, and there's a few grab rails, but it's still teeny tiny. But I did make it work on the Dreamliner. But not everybody can use those accessible toilets. They are very, very tricky. I know it's not wheelchair related, but your family's flight snacks, hold tight because I will be showing the snacks. Let me know what your favourite plane snack is to take. Is there any way to bring a commode along? How to travel for those using a commode? I don't actually have much experience with this, but if you do travel with a commode, let me know in the comments and hopefully this person can find some of your answers. I don't know if they do travel commodes that you could maybe collapse and put down in a suitcase. When you're traveling with a disability, I believe you can take 2 items of disabled related baggage, if that makes sense. So like for myself, I've got my wheelchair, and if I needed to take an extra bag with medical equipment or medication in, then I could do with no extra charge. If you did need to take a bag with like commode stuff in, then you wouldn't be charged extra for that. What can special assistance involve? I have booked, but I don't know what I'm getting. Okay, so I will speak from my kind of experience and what I know based in the UK. And honestly, I think that Gatwick is one of the best airports in the world for special assistance. Heathrow is pretty good as well, but if I was to pick anyone, Gatwick is just amazing. So with the special assistants, they can help you if you're visually impaired or blind. They can help you guide you through the airport, or if you're deaf, or if you have any sort of neurodiverse disabilities as well. They have special assistance lounges that can be quite quiet. The lights are quite dim in there as well, and it takes you away from the hustle and bustle of the airport. So when you arrive at the airport, they can help you with your bags from the car parks. They can help you on the main concourse as well. They can help guide you and fast track you through security, where there are lanes for people who are needing special assistance, who may need extra time. If you have walking disabilities as well, then they have the buggies, so you can sit on the buggies and hold your crutches or mobility aids, and they'll drive you, because sometimes the airport gates can be quite far away, and they'll drive you to the aircraft gate. Let me know if there's anything I've missed, or let me know your experiences of using special assistance. Please, if you've got positive experiences, do share those as well. I feel like as humans, we tend to always talk about more negative things. We're always very, very quick to complain, but people are not so quick to say, do you know what? I had an amazing experience doing such and such the other day. This is quite an interesting one, and I don't feel like I'm qualified to answer it, but I'm gonna try. So because I think this one is quite interesting, and I was doing a little bit of research this morning. So this one says, medication. How do you check legalities for the country? Protocol and packing and on-plane storage and use. So I Googled this, and I will leave a link down below. And I Googled what to do if your prescriptions are banned in certain countries. I would recommend that you go on, if you're in the UK, go on the gov.uk website, or if you're not in the UK, go on an official government website and have a look, because it says taking medicine in and out of the UK, bringing medicine back. And I think there's also places where there's tabs on there where you can look to see what medications are legal. Things vary from country to country, so it's something that I feel like you would have to do your own research on. But this blog post that I have found that I'm reading from, I'll leave it linked down below because it might be helpful for you. Again, it's also directing me to the gov.uk website. Yeah, so I think I've covered all of the questions. Most of your questions were about keeping your wheelchair safe. If you have any tips about keeping your wheelchair safe in the hold, please drop them down below. I have been tempted to put like pipe insulation around the tubing of my wheelchair, but I don't know if that works. I think it's just, I really feel like it is just luck, basically. I think it is down to luck, and we might be lucky, we might not be lucky, and I just hope that we will be lucky. We're gonna go and get our snacks now. You excited, Daisy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what you're gonna get?
No.
Cool, let's go.
Okay, go. Ultimate granddad sweets. So another granddad sweet.
Yeah, it is really.
It's the last bag. Oh. That is it for this video. Make sure you let us know what your favourite plane snacks are. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, because the next video we make, you will be seeing us at Heathrow Airport, which is so exciting. For the flight vlog, I'm going to take you through the whole process, and then we'll have some Disney videos as well. So I really hope you can join us for that. Also, don't forget to go and check out my Instagram, because Daisy will be putting some shorts up there and shorts on YouTube as well. I have lots of fun stuff for the summers. Bye. Bye.